Eamonn Holmes is struggling with his mental health after being left wheelchair-bound and hardly able to walk. The 63-year-old TV favourite, from Belfast, is determined his disability won't take him down and is trying to keep busy, testing the waters in Glasgow with a possible talking tour. But he admitted being in a wheelchair is frustrating, and he even turned down a job at BBC Scotland, claiming they wouldn't pay for his flight. Eamonn admitted, "People think it's my knees or hips, but it's not, it's the discs in my back. I had an operation to take the pain away, but the operation has affected my legs and I don't have any power in them. I'm sitting in a wheelchair now. I can walk 30 or 40 steps, but it's momentous to do things like get out of a car. And I'll do Glasgow in a wheelchair." Eamonn, whose An Audience with Eamonn Holmes takes place on Wednesday at Eastwood Park Theatre, has been broadcasting for 43 years. But he's struggled with severe back pain for the last couple and had spinal surgery in September 2022. He suffered a setback when he fell down the stairs of the Surrey home he shares with his wife, Ruth Langsford, and had more surgery after fracturing his shoulder. Eamonn said, "It can be very depressing mentally as well as physically, but I just have to push myself because what's the alternative? I get treatments every day. I get my back stretched, my ribcage tickled. All these weird and wonderful treatments, and they all hurt. But if I didn't get them, there would be no hope for the future, so you've got to do stuff that gives you hope that you will be able to improve." Eamonn, who is positive and buoyant when we talk, is making sure his days are filled. He officiated Coronation Street star Charlie Lawson's wedding, was back in Belfast this week hosting a health award ceremony, will be in Glasgow next Wednesday and then Huddersfield for another audience with show. He said, "I have to force myself to do things because the alternative is you won't do anything." The father of four, who became a grandfather last year, has now become a passionate advocate for the disabled and wants to do a TV documentary highlighting the restrictions they face. The veteran broadcaster, who has a TV breakfast show Monday to Thursday each week, said, "You can have a disabled toilet, but it's 1 floor and 20 steps down. How do I get to that? Then there's the ludicrousness of toilet doors that open in such a way you can't get the wheelchair in. You can be disabled if you can walk. But you can't be disabled if you're in a wheelchair." Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will autoplay soon. 8 Cancel play now. He has found flying provides wheelchair help, but trains are problematic and stressful. It's led him to knock back a BBC Scotland job. He said, "I was asked to do a programme in Glasgow and said, that's fine, I'll fly. They said, no, we're not paying you to fly. Go on the train. I said, I'm not going on the train because how do I get on the train and get off the train? No one had an answer to it. So I didn't do it. Normally I'd have paid for it myself, but they weren't paying me much, so why am I putting myself out of pocket to do it? The BBC should have stepped in and said, okay, we'll put you on a plane. I think it's as expensive to go on a plane as it is to go on a train." Eamonn has made a career out of speaking his mind. He has been a vocal critic of former This Morning host Philip Schofield. The show's Holly Willoughby has now also quit after a kidnap threat, but Eamonn thinks it was inevitable she had to leave. He said, "There's many reasons why Holly has left, but one of them will be the audiences has more than halved. It's gone down from 1.2 million to 500,000. There wasn't really anywhere else for it or her to go, really. And with Holly gone, Eamonn knows just the people to revitalize This Morning." He said, "The two best presenters they could have are sitting on the wings, and we haven't chosen to leave, we were chosen to leave." He's of course talking him and Ruth, who were sacked after 15 years in 2020. Ruth still works on Loose Women. Eamonn has claimed it was his outspoken comments about 5G that did it. One longtime broadcaster he has no beef with is Lorraine Kelly, who he's worked with since the 90s. When they were on GMTV in 1996, they reported together on the Dunblane massacre when 16 pupils and a teacher were shot dead. Of all the news stories he's covered, even the Omagh bombing in 1998 in his home country, he felt Dunblane the most. He said, "My children at the time were 7, 5 and 4, and the breaking point for me was the evening of the first night when they brought us to the church hall and gave the press class photographs. These were the same pictures I received from my own children the week before. These children could have been my children. The teachers looked the same. The classrooms looked the same. Hideous. I've never gone back." Eamonn is a huge fan of Scotland. He had holidays here as a kid, was a Daily Record columnist for our Irish edition when he was 19 and a presenter of Tea Time News on Belfast's UTV. So it's no surprise his first audience would be in Scotland, teaming up with his old pal Bill McFarlane. Eamonn said, "I adore Northern Ireland, but I adore Scotland more. It's Northern Ireland on steroids." An audience with Eamonn Holmes is on Wednesday at Eastwood Park Theatre, Glasgow. Tickets from urcultureandleisure.org.